Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name's Acacia. Today is another day of Vlogmas. Welcome back. Today is a new segment called Buy, Borrow, or Bargain. I am curious if you guys are going to like this. Let me know in the comments below when I am done with this video if you enjoyed it. This is going to be me talking to you about books that are either well-known or kind of underhyped, and I'm going to be telling you whether they are worth purchasing at full price, whether they are worth picking them up in the library, or whether they are worth bargain hunting for and picking them up secondhand. So let's dive in with our first book. This is Kate Howard, Roses and Rot. I really enjoyed this book, but I haven't talked about it very much, have I? No. This is a story of two young girls, and they are staying at a artist retreat. Both of them are artists. One is a writer, one is a dancer. They have some really mixed passes. They are sisters, and if you liked the book The Crane's Dance, you will probably like this. Do I recommend you pick it up, buy, borrow, or bargain? I would definitely say this is a bargain book, and I would say bargain book it when it is in paperback. It is already out in paperback, so you can probably find it that way. But I would say this one would be a bargain. I would say under $10 would be the best option for it. If you see it in that price range, I would pick it up, and if you enjoy fairy tale elements and whimsy and those sorts of things, this is a great read. But definitely, I would say bargain this one. Then, Carmen Marcus, How Saints Die. This one was really fun. I enjoyed this a lot. I loved this book. It is the story of a young girl who is living in an ocean view town with her father while her mother is in a hospital, and she is just trying to cope on her day-to-day basis, and she's a little weird and quirky. It has whimsy. It has some fairy tale elements. It's very magical, mystical. What do I think of this book? I would definitely say this is, again, another bargain book. If you can find it in paperback, that's probably best. I don't believe that hardcover is like the ultimate for this one. I think that probably for this one you could go for under $15, if that makes sense. I think that that would be the right price range for this, but I definitely think this is a bargain book if you can find it. The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. All right, so you guys have seen this all over BookTube. I don't need to tell you what it's about. It's just completely hyped and loved. What would I tell you to do? I'd tell you to buy it, but buy it in paperback. I don't think it's worth running out and getting the hardcover. I'm probably in the minority here, but I definitely think that it is only worth getting it in paperback. An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. I loved this book. This is the story of Aster and her experience on a starship that is flying to what is this mystical sort of other world where they're going to start and reproduce and all that, but it has become a long, long journey, and there has been classes formed and this difference in society formed on the ship, and it has become a really dark dystopian style spaceship. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really fun one. If you like sci-fi, I would say this is an auto buy and a definite must-have. It has some really great diversity and some really great characters to follow. I really, really enjoyed it. If you are not a sci-fi lover, then I would still urge you to buy it if you liked The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. If none of those things actually are kind of jazzing with you, I would say borrow it. I wouldn't say that it's an automatic love for everybody. I definitely would say that you have to have that sort of want to read something in that sci-fi genre, as well as that kind of overall long-term commitment dystopian world. So if you're not into what I've recommended in the first two kind of ways, then I would borrow it. But otherwise, I would pick it up and buy it. Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer. This book I was obsessed with when I first picked it up. I couldn't put it down, flew through it, had to go out and buy the other two books in the series immediately after because I was so obsessed with it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Now, I'll reread it. but I think you can borrow this one. I think that it is definitely a fun story. It's interesting to read, and I will reread it, but I don't think that it's one that I necessarily should have on my shelf for the rest of my life. But for right now, it's going to stay there. I would say borrow this. The Blue Girl by Lori Foos. This book really just shocked me. It gave me awe, all the feels. It was lovely. It takes perspective from 3 mothers and 3 daughters, and it's all about this young girl who is blue, and they feed her moon pies and secrets. It is really whimsical, really beautiful, magical realism at its best. Buy this one. This one is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Amy Epsis Sufficient Grace. This book was in the Moth box, I think in March, and I was lucky enough to purchase that box. I picked this up immediately when it arrived, and I was so excited. I flew through it. It has a sort of cult-like feel to it. It is really dark. It is really intense. It is really beautiful. I highly recommend it. Buy this one. This one is a definite purchase, and especially because it is an independent publisher, it's even more so worth it to buy it, to support that independent publisher and give them the money. Our Hearts Will Burn Us Down by Anne Valenti. I adored this. You can see I've gotten some marks up in it, and I really liked it. I thought it was really beautiful, really well done. It is a sad book. It talks about a school shooting and the experience and the aftermath of it. It does get a little strange following the rest of the shooting, and the rest of the story is a little weird. So honestly, I would say this is a bargain book. I would recommend picking it up in paperback format if you can find it. I don't know if it's out in paperback yet, but that would be my recommendation to pick it up. I don't think it's worth spending the... Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I don't think it's worth the 26 bucks that you would pay for a hardcover. I'm really glad I have it, and I was really happy to read it as soon as it came out. But now that the time has passed and it's no longer a new release, I would say pick it up in paperback. And last but not least, this is Idaho by Emily Rishvik. This is about a family and the secrets that they have, and it has several different narrators. It is a really dark and disturbing story. It talks about Alzheimer's and the experience of aging and decaying and jail. It is really beautiful, really well done, really well executed. Bargain. This is a bargain book. I would say pick it up if you can find it under $15. It's really beautiful, really wonderful, but I don't think that it is 100% worth picking it up. It definitely isn't worth picking up in hardcover, but in general, I think it is worth picking up if you can find it at a bargain. So yeah, those are all the books that I have for this round. If you guys want to see another round, go ahead and let me know. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, click that subscribe button. If you have any questions, comments, or quandaries, go ahead and leave them in the comments down below. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.